Hello, and welcome to today's video. I'm honestly really excited about today's video because today I'm sharing with you guys the start of my journey to read the entire Bible. And I know that in the past I've read through most, if not all, of the Bible before. I know that, I just know that over the years, I've read it a ton, and that, at one point there was a year that I tried to get through all the Old Testament, and then a year that I tried to get through all the New Testament. I can't say for sure whether or not I actually got through all of it, but I'm pretty sure I at least was close. But it's been a few to a couple years, and I am just ready to try again and to try to do it a lot more focused and to try to get a lot more out of it and to really get through the whole thing. For reference, I'm not reading all of it, sitting down and reading. I'm listening to most of it in audiobook form, just because that's what works best for me, and especially just with all the other things going on in my life, it's a lot easier to go with the audiobook format. And that's just kind of how I prefer to read and gain content in general, is through listening. So yeah, this is the first day of trying to go through the entire Bible, and I'm excited about it. As cool as it is to be able to say, yeah, I've read the entire Bible, it's not really for that reason that I'm doing this. It's more so I've been Christian my entire life, and it is an integral part of who I am. I love God, I love Christ, and I love learning more about religion and how I can draw closer to God. And I decided that at this point in my life, reading through the entire Bible is what I need to do to, take that next kind of step in drawing closer to God and to Christ. And so today I started in Genesis and read listened to the first 7 chapters while I've been getting ready for the morning. And I've read them before. I've read these chapters before. I know the stories, but it's just sitting down and I was doing my makeup, not much else going on, and just listening to these stories. There are a lot of things that I hear, and I'm yeah, I don't know that I've particularly noticed that before. And it's kind of cool to already be seeing things like that, even in the books that I know well. If you are Christian, chances are you know the book of Genesis a lot better than, most of the Old Testament. And that's very much so the case for me, but it's there's still things that it's I'm not really even that familiar with. And so just from the start, it's been really exciting. And I feel I am really in an era of personal growth in my life, and in trying to really figure out who I want to be and how I want to live the rest of my life. And it's one of the most important things, regardless of whatever else happens in my life, is absolutely God and Jesus Christ. And so I'm really excited to be taking this step to really further my relationship with them, because like I said, religion and Christianity has always been a very significant part of my life. That has never been something I have particularly been without. That's just always been a part of my life. In my home growing up, it was something I was taught, and as a teenager, it was something that I personally chose to continue. And then now as an adult, it is still very much so a personal choice that I am, that I'm religious and that I care so much about God, and that I am choosing to read the entire Bible. And I'm really looking forward to kind of the journey that I'm going to be going through, because it really is a journey to bring myself closer to God. And I just think that that's a beautiful thing, and I'm really excited about it. And obviously it's a very personal thing, and I usually don't share the most personal parts of my life on social media. More it's usually the fun stuff, the kind of general stuff, the stuff that's already pretty public. But I feel with this, it's one of my favorite parts about religion is that it's something that it can bless you and the people that you interact with and are around. And I feel sharing my journey to make it through the entire Bible is going to make it even more beneficial to me. But I also hope that it will allow me to bless other people's lives. And also, I think that the input that I get from other people very likely is going to make this an even sweeter experience, because in some of my Bible study yesterday, This was before I decided that starting today I was going to be reading through the entire Bible. But in some of my study yesterday, I was reading some different verses throughout the Bible, essentially like in regards to like community and organization and like interacting with other Christians. And there is a decent amount in the Bible that is, you know, talking about the importance of collaboration, of supporting and teaching others, and like sharing in this love of Christ. And so I'm like, well, I think that the way that I can make this journey for me the most beneficial is probably going to be through taking that advice and sharing it. And I'm really curious, like, for my viewers, for whoever ends up watching this, like, have you ever read through the entire Bible, or have you read like parts of it? Or like, I just want to know about your thoughts on it. I want to know about the benefit it's had in your life. I want to know about your favorite parts of the Bible. I mean, obviously, currently my favorite is very much so the New Testament, when Christ was on the earth, because I don't think anything can quite compare to the uplifting and like the genuine spiritual guidance and just life guidance that is found therein. And it's like, but I'm curious to know like what other people really love in the Bible. And I want to know like what you recommend as stuff to focus on, because obviously as I'm going through the entire Bible, it's like I'm not just going to focus on wherever I'm currently at in my reading. Like I still want to do additional study. I still want to learn other things. And like I will admit, like in my personal study, like I've always been good about doing some kinds of scriptural study, whether it is the Bible or other books. I can't say that I've always been the best about just like focusing on the Bible, and so that's why this is really big for me. But for reference, I have grown up in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so I read the Book of Mormon pretty much every day for the last who even knows how many years. And so a lot of my time in the scriptures has been spent in the Book of Mormon, but it's like I definitely feel like there's this glaring hole of like I need more of the Bible in my life too. And so yeah, that's kind of why I'm like, let's take the time to really, you know, learn the Bible, to experience the Bible, to witness God's words throughout all of these different time periods from literally the beginning of the world. And it's fascinating because it's like I feel like despite how different life was in biblical times, there's still so much that applies to modern day and that can apply to my life and help me grow and become a better person and figure out how to truly live a life aligned with God and His will. And I'm excited. Like, I'm genuinely excited for this experience. Like, there is a lot to read, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm so excited. Like, right now, it feels like it's going to take, like, less than a month to get through it all because I'm so pumped. But, like, in reality, and life gets in the way, it's like, it might take a year to get through it. But regardless of how long it takes, like, I hope to be able to document my journey and share it with you guys, but also document it for the sake of being able to look back at these videos at the end and even way further down the line and just get to reconnect with this journey and kind of use it as a motivator to continue my journey to be closer to God. Because that's obviously something that is most valuable if perpetuated and continued throughout an entire lifetime. And that is very much so my goal and my plan, is to make this is just the start essentially of a level of closeness to God that I want to continue to increase and expand upon for the rest of my life. Because I feel like I said, I have always been religious. I have always wanted to have a relationship with God, and I've always put in daily efforts to do that, like through prayer, through scripture study, and just through like lifestyle and the kind of person that I try to be. But it's like I'm really ready to be even more conscious of my efforts and be even more conscious of the gospel tie-ins of the things that I do and the way that I live my life. And it's like I see zero downside to this. Like, it's going to take a little bit more effort, maybe, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Effort is ultimately a good thing. It is a good thing to put effort into worthy and worthwhile things, and furthering my relationship with God through study of His Word and through improving my lifestyle, I don't think there's a downside to that. So ultimately, I'm really thrilled. I'm excited for the personal growth that I'm going to be experiencing. And I invite any of you that are watching that if you are intrigued, if you're interested, if you want to further your relationship with God too, I invite you to join me on this little adventure because I think, like I said, I don't think there's a downside. Ultimately, it's trying to be a better person and draw closer to God and Jesus Christ. So I'm excited. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey and for watching my videos. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to continue seeing my content, and I will see you guys next time.